Hi, this is Ryan Colby, president of Colby Models, and I'm here with Greg Salmon, who just returned from China 2 weeks ago. And we're just going to talk a little bit about how he came to this point in his life and in his career. I met Greg in June of 2011. He had just recently signed up with KMM in about April. And our KMM booker, Goldie, had booked him on a television show as an extra, and he went and mistakenly left thinking that it was like a normal 6-8 hour day. And it caused a lot of flack because the production company called and they were not happy that he left, and I immediately just decided to get rid of him because I did not, I just don't have patience for that, and I did not think that was a good idea for him to leave without discussing it with anyone. And he contacted the agency, contacted KMM, and to apologize, to say he didn't know, he thought it was a normal 6-8 hour day, and left because he had another job, which was bartending at night, and couldn't miss it. But unfortunately, when you're doing television, you cannot leave. So I was in Philadelphia doing a photo shoot, so he came in to physically meet me because I actually had not physically seen him. And we talked, and I, told him that, that's unacceptable, and if you're willing to try this again, we can go forward. And, because I liked his look, and I saw that I could turn him into something. His look was 50% there, but I knew with some grooming and with some guidance that I can get him to where I needed him to be if he adhered to certain things, which would be, at my, call. So he did, came into the city, and then you take it from there.
I met him in Philadelphia at one of the KMM shoots, and he styled my hair, and I did my first test shoot with, who was that with? Duke Nguyen. And got the pictures back, and I thought they were terrible. He liked them. And then after that, I had to make a choice whether I wanted to...
I liked them because they were simple. They weren't like, I wouldn't use them now because he's advanced so much, but when someone's never seen a camera, even if I get just their eyes open and a sharp picture, I'm fine with that.
I was not fine with the pictures. I hate them. I still do. And then... as I started to do more and more test shoots, I had to come to New York more and more often, and it started getting expensive taking all these Chinatown buses, so it eventually made more sense for me to just move to New York. So I had to make a choice whether I wanted to keep bartending or actually pursue this, and this is something you have to do 100%, and if not, then you might as well just go back to being a bartender. So I quit my job and decided to close my eyes and jump, put my life in this man's hands, and then moved to New York. And then a few months later, I was on my first trip to Aruba to shoot a commercial.
That's true. And in the beginning, when he first moved here, this is a amusement park. It's New York City. And it wasn't as, the road wasn't as smooth as silk. When boys first move to New York, it takes about a good month to 3 months before they get the groove that this is, a new lifestyle, the gym in the morning, looking good, buying fitted clothing that they normally wouldn't wear when they're home with their friends. No more sweatpants, no more cargo pants, no, beige khakis, like models don't dress like that. So that took about...
Pink sunglasses are a must.
Yeah. That took about 3 months. Even though he moved here in July, it wasn't until around the fall, like around the holidays,
that it started to click.
Then he started to get that I was getting irritated because it wasn't going as well as I'd like. And, they're partying or drinking beer at night. They're going out to bars 4 in the morning. I cannot find them. They're, waking up at noon. And, I get that New York City is fun and it's not Pennsylvania, but, this is not a vacation spot. This is to work and to have fun sometimes. And the fun was overshadowing the work, and I started getting irritated. So we had a little discussion that he needs to take this more seriously, or, what are you doing here? Go back to Pennsylvania and bartend. You don't need to be here.
Because there's a lot of temptations, there's always a party every night, especially being a model. You meet you know, when you go to events, when you go to jobs, you meet a ton of photographers and everybody that's always inviting you out Monday through Monday, and there's always a chance to go drink and party, and if you're not careful, it can take over, you know?
Yeah, and it was starting to, and I could see the signs, so I decided to take action and say, look, you know, you really need to
buckle down.
Buckle down.
Step up and buckle down.
Yeah, otherwise this isn't going to work. So he did, and then starting, I guess, after Christmas break, he started to actually go to the gym, like physically. Instead of telling me he was going, and I knew he wasn't.
Texting him when I was half asleep. Where are you? I'm at the gym. Let's go back to sleep.
Which eventually the boys ratted him out, and I
thanks guys.
I eventually learned the truth, and then he physically would go to the gym because he went with other people, so clearly I knew where he was, and then he would work out in the apartment, at the gym, in the apartment, at the gym. So eventually his body started to look more like a model and less like a soft frat boy, and you know, he started to look like a model and get good pictures and start to look more like a commodity and not just a liability. And then the foreign agencies started noticing, and, you know, some agencies would come to New York to look at models. They would go see all the agencies in New York City, including mine, and they would see him and they would like him. So that starts to plant a seed in his head that, oh, I could really do this for like years if I just keep up this momentum.
And you can do it for years. When I was in China, some of the guys there were in their 30s, you know, late 20s, that have been doing it for 6+ years. And even in overseas, like even an older look really works. They were working more than the younger kids were. So these 27, 28, 29-year-old guys were, you know, having guaranteed contracts, working every day, and leaving, you know, with a lot of money to go back to their little village in Ukraine.
True. So around in like March or April, we started making plans for him to leave the country.
And it was the one shoot I did with Kai that really turned everything around.
Yeah, and that's why every shoot is important. And that's why I tell the models, every shoot is important, because even if it's a test shoot, you get that one stunning picture that's like breathtaking.
It was a lookbook. Remember that?
Yeah, that's true. It was a lookbook.
And it was one, I almost didn't even do it either, and I ended up doing it, and it
Why
changed,
didn't you not do it?
I don't know. I think there was a party or something I had to go to. But I ended up not going to the party, and it's a good thing I didn't, because I got pictures that changed my book.
Yeah, it changed.
Everybody noticed it.
It changed his career, and a lot of people. It sounds superficial and silly, but it really is true. Every model has that one picture, whether it be in a magazine or just a test shoot or a lookbook or whatever it is, has that one picture where the agent is like, "Oh my God, that is a model," and then that gets pumped out to the clients, and they agree, and then the interest goes from, you know, quasi warm to hot. And that picture did it for him.
It got me around the world.
And it got him interest in China, Milan, and it just got, you know, him to travel. Because without stunning pictures, it's hard to convince an agency to pay for a flight for you to come over there to do what? Like, to decorate their office? Like, there's no reason for you to be there if you're not going to generate an income or an image for this agency. And the agency in China was Modeline. They loved the images, and they flew him over there in June. And he was there for 4 months and what did you do?
A lot. I did a lot of magazines. I did a couple billboards, a TV commercial, and saw all the sites. Met a lot of great people, learned a lot about the business, what to do, what not to do, and just even more motivation to work even harder and keep this going and just stay on the path that I've been on, you know, because it's been a long road. Took me about a year to really get to where I am now, and now the sky's the limit. Now that my book's full and the pictures just keep coming in better and better, and you know, more and more agencies all over the world are interested, so just keep traveling, keep working, and just building that book.
Yeah. And now we have agencies in Milan, India, Spain. More agencies in China want him to return to different parts of China, Guangzhou and Hong Kong. Taipei. So, you know, now the sky's the limit for him. He can do bigger jobs here in America because he has tear sheets. And a lot of people forget that, you know, they want to do these big catalogs like Saks Fifth Avenue and Macy's, but their stipulation is if there's no tear sheets, they're really, really just not even going to look at you, because they have no interest in looking at someone who hasn't worn expensive clothes and knows how to pull that off.
It's a waste of their time, you know. They want somebody that can I've done catalogs. I did about 8 catalogs, so I can put on the clothes and bang out the pictures. They don't want to roll the dice on some newbie.
Yeah. Who
There's
doesn't
no experience and stuff like that.
Who doesn't know how to show clothing and thinks it's all about them, and it's not. You know, when you're modeling clothes, yes, you're physically wearing them, but it has nothing to do with you. They're not hiring you because of you. Saks Fifth Avenue needs this suit sold to whoever. They need these outfits sold. Your face is just a secondary afterthought. It's really not the purpose of the shoot, and a lot of models forget that, and so it takes experience to learn that, which is why these catalogs won't even hire you until you have magazine work under your belt. And now that he does, now they can, you know, start to use him and expand his career in America and make money and do television and expand that into acting. And half of Hollywood actors were models, you know, 20 years ago and 30 years ago. They were models, and now they're gracing the big screen. And you know, people forget that they were models back in the day. You know, Brad Pitt and all of these people, they were models, you know, for a short period of time.
Yeah, they were.
Anything else you'd like to add?
That's pretty much it for now.
Okay.
Yeah.